Ladies and gentlemen, this is Threats to America, a debate. Please welcome Chief Legal Counsel, Share Healthcare, Michael Sharman, founder and CEO of Freespace, Jon Willis, and your moderator, Larry O'Connor.
They're in a good mood. Excellent. All right. We have problems, major problems, but we also have solutions. And the solutions don't involve the government. It involves us empowering ourselves and fixing our problems, fixing our country. That's what this debate is really about. Are we debating, though? I mean, the big question is, what should we be most afraid of? The government intruding on our health care, our personal medical choices, our own faith-based medical choices, or should we be more concerned about the government intruding on our free speech and our free expression and the freedom of the press? I mean, they're both pretty crappy, guys.
They are.
Yeah, so which is worse? Let's start with health. Mike?
Well, health is a huge part of our economy. It's a huge part of each one of our family budgets. Almost always it's the next highest cost for a family next to their mortgage. But, I don't want to dump the headline that they called us in on, but, it's yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
John's fight with big tech and his adventure, let's say, in what he's doing to give people opportunities is important. But so is ours with Share Healthcare. What we have with Share Healthcare costs 1/5 of what the average cost for a family is or a single is of healthcare, and that's because of government control that we're able to just leap right over.
Yeah, I bet people are thinking, oh, we lost the Obamacare fight in 2010. That ship has sailed, and we lost repealing Obamacare with the vote in the Senate, and so it's over. But actually, the left, the socialists, they hate Obamacare because it's not full-on Marxism. They haven't quit, right?
Absolutely not. The West Coast is. What I have is a healthcare sharing ministry. That's what it's called. It's a ministry, 501c3. The West Coast states are attacking it over and over. Larry, you might know, being at D.C., that the Congressional Free Thought Caucus, which, believe this or not, there's 17 congressmen who say they're part of this caucus because they want to make sure there's no discrimination against atheists and agnostics. I haven't seen anybody discriminating against them. But they have a bill to try to shut down healthcare sharing ministries. And what's a healthcare sharing ministry? It's just people choosing voluntarily to gather together to share one another's medical expenses in an affordable way. Ours, Share Healthcare, is $149 for a single, $249 for a couple, $349 for a family of four. You aren't going to find an insurance which has to be regulated by government. They don't have choice because it's mandated. You got to contract, all that sort of thing.
So Share Healthcare is a personal American faith-based resolution to government-managed regulated health care that overrides the actual regulation. You guys are not covered or overseen.
We're under regulation or over. It's like, okay,
yeah,
here's the row of regulation. I'm walking behind it. We're just not even a part of regulation. So because of that, we're able to tell people, the money that you share with others doesn't pay for abortifacients. It doesn't pay for abortion. It doesn't change for changing Barbie to Billy.
You're not making nuns pay for birth control, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, exactly. I remember you fighting about that for a long time, Larry. You were very much on the forefront of that, so thank you. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to get more into the details of that, but we got to flip over to our First Amendment's kind of important last time I checked.
I would say so.
All right, and obviously, can we talk about the big tech oligarchs in the back pocket or vice versa of our government and our elected officials? Everybody thinks that by not sharing the Hunter Biden story, that was really hurting the New York Post and maybe hurting Donald Trump. Explain how when that censorship happens, it's actually hurting we the people.
It's basically a suppression of information. And so when that Hunter Biden story came out, I believe it was January of last year, people were getting banned everywhere. If you copied that URL, pasted it onto Twitter, Facebook,
Oh,
wherever.
wait, the New York Post article?
The New York
No,
Post
that
article.
was late October. It was like 3 weeks before the election.
Oh, okay. No, there was another one that they came out with in January.
Oh, yeah.
That they were just banning everywhere.
Who can keep track?
So
Yeah,
banned, Larry hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. But yeah, the information suppression that we see in big tech, and I think everyone that's in attendance has been victims of it. If it doesn't fit a certain narrative that the left and big tech are trying to throw out to the general public, then it is suppressed. I mean, you see it with Project Veritas, with a lot of the stuff that they have been releasing.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it all over, and if it doesn't fit that narrative, they shut it down. And what that does is that prevents the truth to actually get out. And I think what we're seeing here in society is truth is being rewritten. Definitions are being changed all over because big tech, they control all information. They control all the distribution of that information. And that's a lot of power that they have.
So you got banned.
Oh, yeah.
For funny memes.
Yes.
Very funny memes, by the way.
Extremely.
Yeah, and instead, so now when a lefty gets banned or when their rights are taken away or so-called, they like start screaming and say, the government has to do something and we got to make another law and we got to say, no, you just stood up and said, screw this, I'm going to create Freespace Social.
Yeah.
Tell us about Freespace Social.
So we launched Freespace last year as a direct result of the conservative purge. When Trump was shut down all over, and then we saw countless influencers, content creators, and regular Joe Blow Americans just completely silenced. We were sitting in our office up in Frisco at the Star, and we were sitting there looking at each other going, we have the ability to launch a social media platform like this. What the heck are we waiting for? And so we literally, and I kid you not, we said a prayer, and we said, God protect us as we do this.
Hallelujah.
And we went forward. We pulled the trigger. Within 3 weeks of making that decision, 3 weeks, we were live.
Wow.
And since then, I mean, we were at Mar-a-Lago with the president. We've done a lot over the last year or so with Freespace. But it's not just a free speech platform. We also want to champion small businesses. We want to give people the ability to get health insurance, to get health coverage, to have the ability to do banking with a bank that's not going to cancel you, to be able to scale your own small business or big business, whatever it is, without having to deal with rules that change advertising every single day that you see on big tech platforms. We want to be able to be a tool or an instrument for you, not the other way around where you are making us money by us selling your data to government agencies. That's not how we roll. That's not how we're going to do things.
So, I mean, the premise here is what's more dangerous, the government intruding on our own personal choices and especially intruding on our free religious choices with regard to health care versus the government intruding along with their pals in big tech on our free expression. It sounds like the root of the problem is the same here.
Absolutely.
It's the leftists who are trying to control all these.
Now, with healthcare, John's a family man, has a bunch of kids, and when his wife's in labor, she's not saying, I sure hope I get the right information on social media, right? But if we don't have access to social media, people won't really know what opportunities there are out there, like share healthcare, or like all the others. And by the way, John, we're not insurance. I'm the chief legal counsel. I got to keep making sure people understand that.
Just bill me your hours.
With both of them, it's, do we have the freedom to make the choices of our own, or does government have the mandate to us?
Right.
Have we become subjects again as opposed to citizens?
Yeah.
And that is the root for both of us, and the enemy on both, the antagonist, let's say, is the government.
So when Obamacare was passed, you personally, as well as many of the people that you work with, you made sure that health share programs were exempt from all of that, right?
Right. I had a small part in Obamacare. I've helped write the legislation in a lot of other states, but the federal one I can't take too much credit on.
I gotcha. All right.
But healthcare sharing ministries are exempt under the Affordable Care Act because they knew in passing omnibus legislation they had to have a conscientious objector clause, essentially.
All right.
And so they plugged that in thinking there's only a couple Anabaptist groups, a couple Mennonites, few Amish here and there. And lo and behold, there's a whole lot of Americans who joined with those Amish and Mennonite.
Right.
Our share healthcare began with old German Baptist brethren.
It turns out there were a lot of patriots who didn't want to be forced to pay for birth control for men.
Yep.
Imagine that.
I'd say that
weird.
That puts it pretty succinctly there.
All right. And then share healthcare specifically. Can you, in a thumbnail, because I know a lot of we hear about these, shared healthcare ideas. How exactly in a thumbnail does it work?
Larry, when you and your family join Share Healthcare, which I'm sure you'll want to after this, you'll get a bank account, a personal individual bank account in your name at Lime Bank of Bolivar, Missouri. It's a real live bank, big bank, branches, all that sort of thing, but it's also digital online. So your money will go directly into your bank account. That bank has a proprietary algorithm that you can punch a button and the right money goes among all the members into your account when somebody in your family has a problem. So the healthcare provider calls us up and says, got this bill. We say, okay, for Larry's $100,000 bill, since we can pay you in 24 to 48 hours, what sort of discount will you give us? And we're getting right now literally a 61 to 65% discount. We don't pay 61 to 65%, well, that's our discount.
That's the discount.
Because we have medical freedom, financial freedom, religious freedom, and the healthcare providers are appreciative of that as well. Because the hospital, which wants their money, gets it fast, and they say, yeah, if we don't have all this dumb paperwork, we'll take it.
Something tells me the government and the insurance companies do not negotiate those kind of discounts.
No, they don't.
And
they
deliver money
right.
to the healthcare.
Because they aren't
Because they hate you guys, right? I mean, well, I shouldn't say hate. They want to remove you from being alive and not exist.
Yeah, existence. Yeah, that's right.
But it's out of love and care for all of us.
Right.
Right. Yeah. All right.
But it also allows the healthcare provider, if he wants to give you, with the various waves of COVID we keep coming around, if he wants to give you hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, he can. If you and your doctor decide, no, you don't want to, you don't have to. And since we aren't insurance, we aren't regulated, you can go anywhere in the world you want, Larry, and if you're with a licensed medical professional,
right,
your health care is shared. It doesn't matter where you are.
Hold on a minute. So let's say you get COVID-19, God forbid. We're all going to get it, right? And your doctor prescribes a drug that Anthony Fauci doesn't approve of. You guys are going to pay for it anyway. Yeah. Well, not you, but through the health.
And the doctor gets to make the decision. He has medical. We're getting referrals from doctors. I mean, how many doctors refer somebody to an insurance company?
Hold on. Doctors get to make the decision with their patients?
Yeah. And we need Jon. We need Jon to publicize that.
Well,
and
right.
Not even if they don't publicize Share Healthcare, when Jon is publicizing freedom,
yeah,
that benefits us, because anybody getting freedom gives more freedom to everybody else around them.
It sounds like, Mike, you're telling me, yes, with Share Healthcare, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
And if you don't like him, you're not stuck in the network where he is.
I'm going to make a note of that. All right, so I get sick. I like my doctor. I keep my doctor. I get prescribed hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin or whatever it is. My doctor says I should take it. You guys say, well, it's not our business, so I get that. Now I want to go to my Facebook or my Twitter account and I want to tell my story. And I can't, because I get canceled. I get deleted. In fact, I get suspended because I dare say that my doctor prescribed a drug that worked for me because somebody in Silicon Valley decides I can't. That's where you come in, right?
Yeah, we don't care what you post. If you want to, whatever medicine you're taking, great. You know, it's not our job to police your opinions, your ideologies, or what you do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We will police things that are illegal, of course, or pornographic.
Yeah.
But it is not my job to tell you what to think. I mean, we are a platform. We are not a publisher, and big tech forgets that. And, you know, backstage, I saw Nigel Farage. I'm sure many of you know him, the leader of Brexit.
And wearing a really great tie today, too.
Fantastic tie. But he's a leader of Brexit, and you know we were talking backstage, and we're like, you know what? In the coming months, we're going to start a movement that hasn't been done before, where it's time to finally exit big tech. So Freespace is going to start a movement,
right?
All right.
Freespace is going to be at the head of this movement called Big Texit, and we want all of you part of it. It is time to get rid of big tech. We are all addicted to Facebook and TikTok. They don't like us, folks. They are trying to suppress us. They're trying to do everything they can to control us. Why the heck are we still using them? You will love Freespace. Download Freespace now. It's in the app stores, both on Google and Apple. And then in the next 2 months, we're going to be releasing Freespace 2.0, a completely brand new platform that has all the features that you love about social media and none of the tyrannical bullcrap that you hate.
And Freespace is free.
And it's free. Yeah.
All right, so big tech Texit,
Big Texit.
Big Texit, born in Texas at CPAC Texas. I think we've solved the debate. The problem is the government and big tech oligarchs trying to control our lives and tell us what we can do and what we can say. The solution is free space social and share healthcare, and the winner is we the people.
Hallelujah.
Done!